finally, we've reached that stage of the season. The last international break of the year is finally over, and we're getting into the real nitty gritty of the league now. The time of the year where games come thick and fast. And as for Spurs, just like many teams, these next run of games can be pivotal to our season and where we end up towards the back end of the season. Our next 5 games, some are winnable, some are very, very, very techie, and some games that we've got very bad records at. So we're going to do a quick preview at them, see how many points out of the 15. To be fair, one of them is a Champions League game, so let's say 12 games, and obviously the 3 points in the Champions League. See what we'll get at. See if I'm miles off it. Come to the back end of this little block of games. See where your heads are at as well. If you guys agree with me. But where do we get into it? The biggest game of the season, in fact, straight off the bat. The North London derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham away at the Emirates as well. We will do a separate preview for that game because obviously that fixture speaks for itself. But what a game to come back into. We know how bad our record is at the Emirates. And let's be honest, Spurs are awful there. Arsenal are absolutely flying this season as well. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm probably seeing that as a loss. Best case scenario for us is to get a point. I don't care about what anyone says in the comments about, oh, you're being too negative. You got to be positive. You have to be real. Let's be honest. That game is horrible. And as I said, a draw I'll be more than happy with. But with the way I'm seeing things at the minute, I think that's a loss for Spurs. So that's already 0 points from the first 5. Then we go to PSG away in the Champions League on Wednesday. It doesn't get much easier, does it, to be honest? The champions of Europe, yes, I know. After the Club World Cup that they had in summer, it's killing their players. They got so many injury problems, but still, the squad is still unbelievable. And once again, that's a game I probably do not see Spurs winning. So, yeah, great start. Out of the 5 games, I'm really seeing us losing. Out of both of them two, I'd be more than over the moon with a draw. But once again, of course, I'm going to be disappointed if we lose both games. But let's be honest, like with my normal head on and not in the heat of the moment, I'm not really expecting much from them 2 games. And if a draw or if we go and win any of those 2 games, that I'll be over the moon with it. And I'll probably celebrate it even more than I should. Then Spurs have Fulham on the 29th, 8 o'clock kickoff as well. Saturday, 8 o'clock kickoff. You hate them games. A game that should be winnable for Spurs, but with our home record, you just don't really know, to be honest, because Fulham are near the relegation zone as well. There's talk of Marco Silva maybe being sacked, or obviously he's not looking to sign his contract, so I don't know there. But Spurs' home record is absolutely awful. Of course, we got the draw against Man United, absolutely stolen at the death. And maybe that does improve our home form. Hopefully it does. But a game, once again, we should be winning. I'm going to go positive with this one. I'm going to say 3 points for that game. Obviously, just assessing all the sort of, I don't even know what the word is. The tangibles or whatever the word is. Spurs should be winning that game. So out of them 3 games, there we go. There's our first win. Then we go to Newcastle away on a Tuesday night in the Premier League. Once again, whoever makes these fixtures needs to get a head kicked in, because travelling from North London to Newcastle for an 8 p.m. kickoff on a Tuesday night is absolutely horrible. The game's going to finish, about 10 o'clock? Sorry, it's actually 8:15. So the game's going to finish at 10, half 10? Of course, there's going to be no trains back, so everyone's going to have to drive 5-6 hours back home, even further for some people. You're not getting home till early the next day. And at St. James's Park, where Spurs have a horrific record in recent times, we've already been there this season and lost in the Carabao Cup. Once again, that's another fixture. I'm not really looking for us to win it. Not that I'm not looking for us to win. Of course, I want us to win, but I don't see us getting much. Newcastle have been pretty horrid away from home, but at home, they've been outstanding. So that's another one that I probably don't see us winning. And a draw I'll take right now. I'll literally take right now. And then we're at home to Brentford once again. As I say, a game that Spurs should be winning. Thomas Frank against his old. In fact, Thomas Frank wants to win that game because if his old team come in and beat us, then not only are the Brentford fans going to be bantering us, but that's going to be not the greatest for Thomas Frank, especially with our home record being awful. So, all in all, 2 games, Fulham and Brentford at home that I'm expecting Spurs to take 3 points from. And if we don't, I'm going to be very, very disappointed. But the other 3 games, Arsenal away, PSG away, and Newcastle away, let's be honest, guys. That is a tough block of games. That is a very tough block of games. And as I said, I'll be over the moon with a draw. Obviously, if we get anything more than a draw, then I'll be absolutely buzzing. But the realist in me says two draws and a loss. I'd easily, even you know what? I'd even say if we were somehow to be able to beat Arsenal, I'd take a loss in the other 2 games. But being realistic, maybe a draw at the Emirates is doable. Maybe a draw at St. James's is doable, and maybe a draw at PSG is doable, but very, very tough ask. You guys let me know what you think as well. Am I being too harsh? Do you see more points? How many points do you see out of them 5 games? Of course, if we're doing it, including the Champions League points, then out of 15, I'm saying 6 points, which is not the greatest at all. Actually, if we're considering the draws, maybe 9 points out of 15, but I still think that's too much. I don't think we'll get 9. 7, 8 probably is probably a bit more realistic. So half of the points are available. But you guys let me know, what do you see? Let me know in the comments below. How do you see these games going? Win, lose, draw? Give me your points out of 15 for these games. Of course, as I said, we're going to drop a little preview about this Arsenal game coming up this weekend because the games don't get any bigger than that. If you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Plenty more content. Welcome to the Shakavelli channel. Let Shaq know your thoughts in the comments and we'll be back. Peace and love.